Hey guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about cultural appropriation because I've often heard that if white people have a certain hairstyle or listen to a specific music genre or even enjoy a specific food, that can all be considered cultural appropriation. And why just white people? Well, apparently it's when a dominant culture adapts elements from an oppressed culture. So let's say you are a white woman and you get dreads or you get braids, and in fact, it's usually a black woman doing the braids who doesn't have a problem with it. But then you post it online and a bunch of people come out and say that's cultural appropriation. But if you are a black woman who wants to get a blonde wig, let's say, that's not cultural appropriation. That's fine. So we had Adele, who wore buns in her hair. That's cultural appropriation. Kim Kardashian wearing braids. That's cultural appropriation. And we had that teenager who wore a traditional Chinese dress because she thought it was beautiful to her prom. No, can't have that. That's cultural appropriation. And now if you make dishes from another culture and post that online, those will get backlash too, because you guessed it, that's cultural appropriation. And of course, the hair.
Is it okay for her to wear cornrows?
It depends on what boundaries that culture has set. So I can speak for Black culture.
I could respond to that. I think you can speak for yourself as an individual as far as whether or not you are offended by something, but you can't speak on behalf of the entire Black culture.
Amal is right. You can't just say, you have been elected the spokesperson for an entire culture. So now if you have a question, can I do this? Can I do that? You have to go to this influencer and ask her for her permission. Get a written consent.
Backlash for
wearing the dress, yes.
that you were appropriating a culture?
Yes. Got called all sorts of names. I got death threats. I got people threatening to send things to my high school.
Describe cultural appropriation as taking something that has cultural, spiritual significance and stealing from it.
What do you mean by that? Like claiming that it's from your culture? Because yeah, that's wrong. But by just wearing it and appreciating it and thinking it's beautiful, how is that stealing it? Love this comment under this video. It's getting to a point where no one is allowed to show interest in other cultures apart from their own, but at the same time is expected to be an expert on every other culture than their own.
Can everybody else's hair who's not African, who's not black, freeform? Yes. Why? Because any hair that is left uncombed, not unkept, it can be washed every day, but is not combed, forms into dreadlocks. I know it's synonymously known for black people, but anybody with hair on their head and doesn't comb it will form into dreadlocks. How are you supposed to lay claim into a natural occurrence?
So I think that context matters, right? If you find something from this culture that they find sacred and that is very important to them, and you say, I love that. I really want to wear that. I want to, or, make this dish or try on this clothing, and you really appreciate it. I don't see what's wrong with that. I think that's cultural appreciation, but everyone goes and they say, no, that's appropriation, unless you know the entire history of that culture or you get permission from that person, from that culture. You cannot do that, right? Which is ridiculous. However, if you are saying, if you're mocking that style or that food, that is wrong. But if someone genuinely loves a hairstyle and they think it's beautiful, or they love a dress from this culture, or they love to eat that food and they want to try to make it themselves, how is that wrong? Why do these people want segregation so badly? Now, if you look at these universities and what they're doing, they want segregation back. They're saying we need POC only, housing. Because if you're white, you're putting that black person at risk. This is making us think about race more and more in recent years. And that's not necessarily a good thing. It's not like we're thinking, oh, how can we all come together? Let me share this with you. You share this with me. No. It's how are you oppressing me? How am I oppressing you? We should just separate. I remember at school, in grade school, we had this day when everybody would bring food from their culture. And it was a really great opportunity to get to know each other and where, someone's family immigrated from. But now I'm sure that's wrong. That's racism, because we might not know the entire history of what this dumpling represents, so you actually can't eat it.
They target the late Diana Kennedy, a 99-year-old British chef who pioneered Mexican cooking. Writes the New York Times, she never reckoned with her authority over Mexican cuisine as a white British woman.
One of the best parts about living in America, in my opinion, is the fact that we have so many immigrants from all around the world coming here, bringing their own cuisine, their own music, their own dance. I mean, it makes living here so unique and so fun. And actually, back to hair, I think it is so interesting that so many different cultures found ways to braid their hair. So in a way, that's something we have in common. Yes, the braids themselves might be different depending on the culture, but I still think that's so interesting. And if you want to try a hairstyle from another culture, you just really find it gorgeous. Like, so isn't that nice that that person really appreciates your culture and wants to show that appreciation by trying it out? Because a lot of people say, no, you need to get permission. Permission from who? Who do you go to? Who's the representative of each culture? If you want to try a style as a POC from white people, from white culture, which I know online, I see a lot of this, white people don't have culture, so how can I really be surprised that we're having this conversation?
No. No, no.
You'd have to come to me because I'm the representative of white people, because I just said so, and I would either say yes or no. You can wear that blonde wig or not. I'm offended if you dyed your hair blonde or if you straightened it. That's appropriating my culture. And back to food. Do they think that the people who came here and then opened up a restaurant, they don't appreciate the Americans eating at their restaurant? They literally change their portion sizes. For example, in Chinese restaurants, they make the portion size bigger. I don't think that they're offended when Americans love Chinese food and they go to eat at their restaurant, or Japanese food, or Mexican food, or Indian food, or any food, right? Or is it now going to be offensive to watch anime, let's say? Because then a lot of white people and black people will be in trouble. Is it going to be offensive to do yoga or to meditate? Something I've personally been doing almost every day for many years now, and I know a lot of white and black people do as well. Is that offensive? Are you going to be canceled because of that? Maybe we should stop learning foreign languages. Maybe if you're an actor, you should stop learning accents. Maybe we should stop traveling and trying to immerse ourselves in someone's culture. Do you want to look at art or listen to music or, watch dance performances from other cultures? No, can't have you doing that. That's racist. Or you'd have to find a buddy from that culture and either get their signature that you can go or bring them along. And finally, no more friendships with people from different cultures. That's where we're heading towards, and that's really unfortunate. Or we can realize that sharing our cultures with each other is actually a beautiful thing, and stop taking offense to everything just because a white person is doing it, right? That's what this victim mindset is doing when it comes to race. If you're white, you automatically have bad intentions. You can't actually really like that hairstyle. You can't actually really like that food. No ifs, ands, or buts, you're evil, right? Generalizing an entire race. A lot of these people really are trying to show their appreciation for their culture. It's not cultural appropriation. Those are my thoughts on it. I would love to hear what you guys think, so make sure you comment that below. Also remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.